righty. Well, Parliament Booger found something I had said pretty fascinating. And we want to do a video. And it was a request when I told her that my puppy, from day one, when that song Moby came out, that's all I know. I don't know the name of the song. It's called Moby. No, my pup is over there, sound asleep. And we'll see his reaction. Polly's wonderful video. She did such a great job. Let's see what happens. Here we go. You ready? He just got up. I swear I didn't egg that dog on. I called John Florence over at KRCL Music. You know, he chose quite a few. Actually, he chose quite a bit. Hey, Shannon, how are you this morning? I think went down to about 4 degrees. But I called John Florence. Remember what the whole story? I think they would act him. It happened. He was going nuts. Come on, come and lay down. It's all over. Seriously, man, he jumped right. It started going wild, man. But I had it on the house stereo, and it kept happening. And it's just stressed out. He's stressed out. He's not liking this shit. You see, he's not stressed out. Thank you for the Polymer Booger. I told her this story. She just did a video. Yeah, I want to check. She did a video on the beach and some really cool stuff. And she had Moby playing, and Buddy went nuts. And well, her last video used that music, and I was like, no, he's going nuts again. So I just wrote her. I'm kind of bored up here. You know, this is what, what's that? Good morning to you. So she did this video, 14 degrees right now. I says, so she asked me last night or yesterday or something, says, can you do this? Can you record it? So he's all quieted down, right? No, dig this. Mind blown. I hope my work with trying to do all this stuff. All right. And then he ain't looking at me. He's like, just gotta, it's a chorus that really gets him. And you know what I like, Polly? It's your foot in the sand. Oh, how wonderful that would be. Look at 6 inches of blue sky, Polly. Subliminal message. All right. Lay down. Now, yes, buffering the entire time. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. It's not showing me buffering. Let's see if I can do this. This is did you get that anyways? Could you hear the music playing and Buddy singing? There's 2 people in here. I guess it would be me and someone else. Buffered the entire time. So that means you didn't even get any of it. That's too bad. when the music was playing? How about a 1? It was choppy. Looking to legalize weed. Yeah, well, fuck you. Ah. Ah. Anyways, I don't really mean that. How you been? And good to see you in there. Well, that's I don't know. There's no hope for Maine. I don't think there's any hope for Maine to get out of their economic shit. This was, but the owners of us won't let us have the freedom to grow and bring that down to New York, where they certainly could use it. They just win. How you doing? And good to see you, Steve. I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you. Call me later if you want. My radio's still blowed up. I've been listening to a lot of 40 meters. I go down 75 up near 3775. Listen to some cool DX. Pretty cool. Good. A little cold. Little cold. We had a 3-day excursion here with super high winds, near zero temperatures. Some I think Mount Washington hit 171 mile an hour. It was brutal here. But anyway, I go down to 3775, and I listen to them guys. Hawaii came in last night on 40. That was shocking. And what else? I go up to 3860 very rarely. What a foolish mess that turned out to be. Did you guys hear this? Did you hear my buddy? Let's do it again. One more time, all right? Now, he was in a sound sleep when he woke up the first time. I hope this better so it ain't so choppy. And it's the chorus line in this music that Moby wrote. The song, and it's not happy like when he plays the blues. I could give you some demonstrations of that. It says, "Yep." So it's I can't even get a connection to go live anymore. Didn't that suck? Whatever. We're good with it. Wish we had a few people in here saying hi to one another this morning. That's really, really cool, That's really, really cool. And yeah, I guess you ain't out there sailing anymore, huh, Steve? Yeah, so you all done. You guys got any ice in the harbors? You big boy. We'll lay down. It's all right. It's all right. So, anyways, you know, ah, it must be, for you guys, it must be awful, dude. I'm telling you. Did you see that tower? Go look this up. Sugarloaf Mountain Tower blows over. An NS government tower snapped in half, rolled right over like spaghetti. About a 200-foot tower on top of Sugarloaf. And I'll tell you, that was really weird. I'll tell you a story, whether hopefully you find it interesting. So Sunday night, I get snow on the way, but I think it was Sunday night, and but they kept pushing this high wind warning, high wind warning, high wind warning. And so I look in the NOAA. This is NOAA. That got 50,000 rounds of hollow point ammunition. For what reason, I don't know. But anyway, they put out a warning until 10 p.m., which would have been Monday. Now, this is a wind event. This is a wind event, and um, so that was 10 p.m. So at 9:10 p.m. here, we are still running 40 miles an hour, and um, then I went back and checked. It was, I think, around 11 o'clock. I went back and checked, and NOAA put up another warning for 5 p.m. the following day, which would have been Tuesday. And I'll tell you something. That wind didn't just start laying down till sometime about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday morning. Now, how NOAA could screw up weather forecasting that much? Oh, Steve, by the way, um, Mike Morales. Mike Morales said this was going to happen a week ago. That's a whole weird thing. He called the wind event. There was an aircraft that ran 801 miles an hour with a tailwind. I don't even know how the aircraft stayed together, and I don't think many other do, but they had blessed or something. And he showed that river coming up here and clobbering us, and all man-made, geoengineering, whatever you want to call it. But Mike Morales, he's got a real good deal there where he'll show you weather control. And there's another fellow called Jim Lee. He's Climate Viewer. Jim Lee, Climate Viewer, will show you all the ionospheric heaters. So that's about it. It's cold out there. It's about 14 degrees. The wind is kind of laying down a little bit. We had a couple blowovers here. Yes, just went. Yes, Jim is so professor. I go in there and I can't navigate. I'm not blaming Jim for nothing. Actually, he does good work, but I'm just saying my limitations. I can't get. Well, you can see I can't even get streaming going on in here, live streaming. And I still don't know what's going on. Edit, because I would bring up pictures of that towers like other people do. I don't know how to do that, and then you guys could see instead of my basil you're looking at, you could see good. It's been on and off. I had a day last week, honest to goodness. I got up, it was cold. It was real cold in here. I think we broke 50, went down below 50. And I think around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I finally got the stove to light. I used a lot of wood. I couldn't get the coal to light. It just wouldn't light. It was like CIA was putting halon in the stack or something. But overall, it's been good. It's good. I got to get another pallet of coal here. I'm really worried, if the shit really hits a fan now, I'm very, very, very nervous because I only got one pallet. I want two more here. But Kinley, Mike Morales is amazing. This is Jim Lee, Rocks, Ralph. You have listened to Dane? No, I haven't. But I'll look for him. Southern Oklahoma. Are you near? Are you near anywhere near Lawton? Unless it keeps throwing people in and out, I don't know what it's doing. Are you near Lawton? Yeah, I was stationed there. I went to boot camp there. I got to see Geronimo's cell in the museum. They had Geronimo's cell, and they had Geronimo's grave, which was dug up by Papa Bush. Why do you love? Why are you a Southerner, Kinley? Yeah, I liked Oklahoma. I really, really enjoyed Oklahoma. I don't like the way they're still keeping down the native population down there and screwing them over. Where you from, Kennelly? Um, you know, their horses were from cavalry days. We went up to the museum, a great museum there, a war. Well, thank you, anyways. I don't know where you're from. Yeah, if you're from down south, yeah, a lot of people um, sort of like that accent. Central Illinois girl could listen to you talk all day long. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You get cold out there, man. You're talking about me. No way. Illinois, are you kidding me? Are you in farmland? Or you in city? Like, I've been through Illinois plenty of times. I traveled from Rhode Island to out west many times, back and forth, leave in the spring and come back in the fall. Volunteer to take care of camps and stuff, and out west, and run through Illinois. Some terrible tornado country. That's my deal with Lawton. I liked it. It was my first tornado I ever been in. And natural gas. Shake my head. I don't quite understand. Oh, natural. Oh. Good for you. Natural gas. Um, is this where they show up at a native's home and dig a well right in back of their house, tear their whole yard up because the native people don't have gas, oil, or mineral rights? So they I watched that. That was horrifying. Horrifying what you're doing to them people. And yeah, they just show up in back of your house, drill a hole, start tearing up the earth, and once they get gas out of there, they give you $25. They're moving millions of dollars worth of gas out of a well or whatever. No, that was my first tornado. That was my first tornado. Actually, the guy woke me up on guard duty. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. It was my turn. He had to walk around. You wake up after being beat the hell out of in boot camp all day, half asleep, and in the barracks down there were concrete where you walked underneath them though, and they had stairs going up so you could walk all around underneath there, and their whole building was vibrating, terrible. And I looked out. I was in protected, and I watched like a 12-foot maple tree just pounding off the ground, ridiculous, and stuff flying in the air. Oh, actually, no, we didn't alert. That went right through Lawton, but no, they didn't. The base didn't do nothing. I was just on fire watch. That's all. It's just a bullshit thing to wake you up, and you have to go walk around the stairs and go through all the barracks and just wander through shit, making sure there's no fire. But the CO never came on up to me or anyone else and says evacuate anyone. Where were we going to evacuate? The barracks were concrete. There was no way to evacuate. They didn't have storm shelters. Oh, cool, cool. Uh, did you just did she oh, well, it was before you were born. Did you get to travel? And so I liked about my time. That's where I fell in love with the desert. We were going out there to kill Iranians, train to kill Iranians back in the 70s, and They sent us out to the desert for some training in uh, we landed. I'll tell you the day I landed. The day I landed was right outside my window was MGM Grand was burning down. Oh, and what else about that? That was a cool trip, man. I really enjoyed myself. I'm a wandering type of guy, a fidgety guy. I don't like to sit still back then. Anyway, oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Isn't it? You know, I get into Ohio and the Monsanto's corn just goes on for miles. No, Army. I was in the Army. And yeah, we landed down there in Vegas, got on a bus. And then we were up at Edwards waiting for another bus to take us to the barracks. And I went strolling around. There were huge hangars there. You know, we were all underneath the B-52. I never got to see a B-52. We were underneath it, getting out of the sun. Well, I got to go wandering off. And I go up to these doors, huge doors, and they say, you'll be shot on sight or something. But the door was open about 4 inches. I looked inside, and that was a B-1 bomber. I had a guy and two guys, MPs, come racing up full speed, drawn. They're like, "Hey, dude, I'm only looking for a bathroom. I'm only looking for a bathroom." You know, they're playing dumb. But I got to see the B-1. I think before they even announced it was a B-1. Oh no, you know, it was all. It was. I thank you, and I'm not belittling. I'm not belittling, but you know, we were gonna go kill Iran, and then I find out, you know, in the 90s that Iran was all CIA bullshit, you know? And it's like, how the frick do you realize they had us pumped up to go killing people? I'm so glad we didn't have to go anywhere. I'm so glad we didn't have to go anywhere. But I only talk about that not as like modern day people look at service people. I don't know, like as like heroic. Dude, I spent more time volunteering for the U.S. Forest Service and out there than I did in the Army, and I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself immensely. But as I got older, I realized how wrong this was. Oh yeah, I used to go up to the guns too. Remember, I was wandering Ralph back then, and we say, um, "Paris, how are you?" Oh, she made a video and she used the band Moby. And I don't know if Buddy will do this if you got a minute, but anyways, in another window, I got the band Moby. And when Moby first came out, I listened to KRCL out of Salt Lake, Utah. It's a public station, private, not private, community station back then, and they played the song called Moby, the band Moby or whatever. And I'm sitting here, I'm minding my own business. My dog's going nuts. I mean, looking like he's going after a mountain lion. I can't figure out what it was. Well, by the third time, I realized it's this band Moby. So I'm going to do it for you, Paris. Let's see if it'll work. Chorus, chorus line. Yeah, he's tired. He's getting old. He's getting tired. When he used to go nuts. He just did this right. if you come back later, Paris, and watch a video, I think we got I think we got it on video, but people were saying that it was disrupting. That it was what do you call that? It was buffering. But I think you can get the gist, maybe. Ah, yeah, just out of a sound sleep, that song comes on, he jumps right up, and I'll explain it to you. You have a great day. I hope your taxes going on. Polly's great. Just like I said, she did this video. I went and watched the video. My dog reacted. I wrote her a little note saying my dog reacted, and Polly wanted to see a video, so that's what I'm doing here. I didn't even expect all you guys to come in here, and I hope you're having a good time talking and seeing one another. All you faces are very very what recognize Black Mirror episode Men Against Fire, and it's worth watching if you have it on Netflix. I don't have Netflix. I just do YouTube. I just do YouTube, but maybe it's on YouTube. Maybe I can look. I'll look that up on Netflix. Brenda, how are you? How are you, Brenda? Good to see you. Um, so anyways, if you just got here, the video was about my dog reacting to Moby, and we've been off on a couple other things here, and it's just really strange, you know. I mean, did Moby put subliminal messages in that song? Because I can play the blues for my dog, and he'll sing along with the blues. You can tell he's happy, happy, joy, joy. But that Moby irritates the heck out of him, boy. Okay, well, good for you. I was good at what I did. You know, I was good at what I did. It is good, Brenda. It was good. It's good up here. You know, we're cold. We're very cold. We're about 15 degrees probably right now. The wind is laid down. We're warm. Everything's good. But uh, you know, I found out the CIA went into Iran in 1953 and put the Shah in. And so when I came see my dad in the 70s, and he's like, I think you're going to war. You're going to be drafted. You're going to war in Iran. And so I decided to volunteer before we got there. And I was good at what we did. You know, I was, we do artillery all the way from 60, 81 4 deuce mortars, all the way up to 155, 8-inch howitzers, air support, A10s, A7s, Navy gunfire, 10-inch, 16-inch gunfire. I mean, all the way up to Persian, you know. And basically, we targeted what we needed to target and then call for fire. And the last 20 years has been so upsetting for me to see all these innocent people being blown up all over the world by our goons. And whoever's targeting these people, man, I'll tell you what, I'd court martial the son of a bitches. You know, that's why they started my MOS. They didn't want any more collateral damage, and they wouldn't want our own people getting blowed up. And that's the way I introduced to my MOS, and I still remember them telling us why you're here. Because throughout the wars, we miscall artillery fire on our own people, and this was to coordinate and all that. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, if you like fireworks, man, you know, I didn't have to kill anyone, which was the best part of the whole thing, and never had. But you sit there and you tell the guns where to shoot, and about a mile or two away, sometimes up to 400 meters, the artillery, a mortar would come in, and big explosions, and white phosphorus. Did a lot with white phosphorus. Shot a lot of white phosphorus. And you know, Israel shooting white phosphorus into a schoolyard is a total abomination. I'm not anti-Semitic at all, and damn those who try to put a label on me like that. But anybody who would put 140-pound white phosphorus 155 shell into a school and knowing what they were doing and roasting children to death like that. Stuff's awful. I used to go and pick up the illumination shoots out in the impact area, and I've seen that stuff. Horrible. I never was in war. I'm glad I wasn't. But I can tell you from my experiences, I didn't need to see what we're doing to people and how we're doing it. So I was hoping this president would really be an honorable man. I hope he'd pull us out of all the world, pull everyone out all over the world. It's all bullshit. North Korea owns us. I had an E4 and we're sitting in personnel carrier. He just came into my unit. He just come from the DMZ in North Korea. And I was a gun-ho little piss ass like everyone else is. And we'll kill them son of a bitches. We'll kill them. My dad was there and blah, 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 blah. And he says, let me tell you something. He says, we'll never, ever, ever win that. And he says, they got 2 million men that'll rush the border. And when the 2 million men rush the border, some officer will detonate 20 or 30 or 40. Thank you. Thank you, Kinley. Yeah, I'm not anti-American. You know, with some of the Jesuits might, listen to me speak, might want to twist it around. I'm no war hero. I never was a war hero. I just served in the military for a little bit. And I learned how to do this stuff, which was wonderful. You know, I'm glad I did it. But I call an A10 in, an A10 Warthog that they're getting rid of. They're getting rid of two things that I'm really pissed off about. I'd be pissed off about here in Maine if you called on me to be a photo observer up here. They're getting rid of the A10 and they're getting rid of 4 Deuce. Those are my two favorite tools. You know, that 30 millimeter is really potent. But most people, we were talking about nuking, go back to North Korea, because we spent how many months with this bullshit artist in the White House talking about how he's going to do this and that to North Korea. If we drop 50 megatons, 150 megatons on North Korea a year or so ago, we'd be starving to death right now. We're in a grand solar minimum. You need to learn about it if you don't know. It's the natural cycle of the sun. There are no sunspots, and growth season and famine always happen in the grand solar minimum. That's number one. You got chemtrails going on all over the place, as many of you know, that joined Mike Morales. And number three, if you nuke North Korea with 50, 150 megatons, you wouldn't be able to eat anything, possibly west of Nebraska. All that food that's grown out there would be irradiated. We had trouble with Fukushima. Fukushima was nothing. When you talk about thermonuclear, you're out of your mind. So the way the DMZ is, there's like a line drawn in the sand. And on that line, we have nuclear bombs on the ground. And we get a lot of people, like 30,000 people, probably not on the DMZ at one time. Probably, we'll call it one division, 10,000 men and women on the line. Well, North Korea can run 2 million men onto our 10,000. And they would panic. And when they detonate the nukes, and if they detonated all the nukes, they not only wiped them people out that ran the border, but they'd wipe our own people out. That's number one. Number two, all that fallout's going into all the growth areas of California and Washington State, yada, yada, yada. Then North Korea's got another 2 million men. 2 million. We're talking about 150,000 South Korean and combined American forces. And so they have no problem running and chasing you through nuclear wasteland, and they'll get you. And there was no win in that situation. There was just no win, and we listened to this asshole repetitively. And I truly believe that Trump, when he got into the talks with North Korea, I think he had to perform oral on that North Korean leader, and I'll tell you why. Because North Korea, Dabu 77, any of you folks know Dabu, reported about 2 years ago that North Korea put up a satellite. They don't know what it is. It goes opposite of everything else. And if it's got a 1 or 2 or 3 megaton nuke on it, it comes over Oklahoma twice a day. You really mean that? I will. I will. I will. If you like hear me rambling, I wish I could bring you up. I wish I could bring you up on split screen. I don't know how to do that. This is all I can do. This is all I can do with this. I don't know. I'm old man. I don't know how to edit, and I don't know how to like have you call me on Google Hangouts and bring up split screen. I'd love to have people in shooting the shit with. But this satellite's called Bright Star. And Bright Star comes over Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri twice a day. And if there's well, I'll try to do my best. Life has been kind of really a blasé where I'm stopped in this life right now. It's been pretty blasé. And it comes over Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas twice a day. Now, if there's a 2 or 3 megaton nuke on this thing, which is very well possible, it's going opposite of all other satellites. That's number one. And I think they hold us hostage. And I think that's what happened to Trump. I don't think the underlying government told Trump before he went in there to so-called peace talk, wherever he did when he first got in. I think, I really think they could finish us instantly. And you know something about an EMP, for those that don't know, if you're in Kansas at nighttime and they detonate an EMP 350 miles up, you're not going to hear nothing. You're not going to hear nothing. Everything you own is everything electronic with an IC. An IC, if you ever seen inside of a circuit board, those little square things. Really? Well, maybe we will do this a little more often. Those little things are called ICs, integrated circuits, and they're so fragile. My basic Paris was 4 deuce mortars, 81 millimeter mortars, and 155. Once in a while, I called for 8-inch. That was kind of weird. That was rare. Those were expensive. And basically, I was sitting out overlooking this mass area, and I call the guns, and I say fire on this target, and GPS back then, so we had to triangulate. Terry, you got your power on, girl. Can you tell me what happened real quick? Like, you didn't get flooded, did you? Get back to Paris. So that's what I did, a forward observer. It was a great time. Oh, like if you love fireworks and blowing things up. Still don't know. Still don't know what. Do you have your power or don't you? Or you're not there. What happened? Flood? Paris, go look at some. You should be able to sign some training video, and it really cool. Really cool. Just sit there eating, you see rations, and Oh, maybe a squirrel got caught in the wires. Remember the time the West Coast went out? What was that? 7, 10, 8, 12 years ago or something? The power went out. Yes, right. I know. I don't know how. Do you too well? You can't even figure out how to post a video. I like. Oh, that's too bad. When I was a son, help me. When I was again, come. Yeah, like the real Yvonne. She does a great video. All of them. Jim Lee, Mike Morales, whoever. And I really like the video. I would run it on I mean, I got like, I don't know, 100 people sub to me, but I think if I ran the video, people that never seen the real Yvonne or Mike Morales, but sub to me, there's some really, really good videos out there. This is mind blowing. This is like an institute, man. This is like better than any university. YouTube is very, very popular. I don't know how to post videos. I realize how. Let me know. I'm not savvy, but I'm learning. You do good job. I like your videos. Holy cow! Holy cow! Um, I had an ice storm over a year ago here, and there were 3.2 million people on the East Coast that were without power. I don't know if you realize that. There were I think it was 3.1 or 3.2, and some of the folks up here in Maine, they were out. They were out over a week. I was out a week. Oh, and for you guys that know about smart meters and the dangers of smart meter, I have a smart meter on this house. The scumbags want $46 a month to pull it off and put an analog meter. I worked radio all that week, amateur radio. I got my amateur radio, communicating with people on low power, and I had a great time. People were filling me in because I had no news or nothing up here. And when the power came on, the goddamn radio quit transmitting. And I sent it to Kenwood. Kenwood says it's a mixer. And the mixer in there goes from HF to the VHF of 6 meter. And that's very susceptible to power surge. Not a power surge, but an RF, EMP or RF. And that's goddamn smart meter. I still today believe that smart meter blew up my radio. That radio worked fantastic. It wasn't a power surge because I got a metered power supply and then 2 6-volt batteries in line, and I could have plugged it into 240 volt. I don't know if Honeybee's still here, but that's basically, I believe, the power meter, which is underneath my massive antenna here. I think it sent out some kind of pulse or something. It is a transmitter, and got into the radio and screwed it up. That's it. End of conversation. I don't have a ham radio. So Paris, it was a real fun job. I'm glad I never had to kill anything. Um, I'm glad I didn't have to go to war. I'm glad because most of our wars have been bullshit and illegal. We shouldn't have been in World War I. We shouldn't have been in World War II. We shouldn't have been in Korea. We shouldn't have been in North Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam. We shouldn't have been in all this other bullshit, just industrial military complex going wild. Terry, I don't know what to say. No, I didn't hear. And I thank you for the news. I'm sad. She's a strong, strong woman, and she is an older. And it's sad, man. It's sad. When I was out, I went out. This chick back in Rhode Island said she wanted to go with me in the summer. I says, well, you're not coming with me. We'll buy a camper. And we bought a camper, and we went out there, and I lived 3 years out there from Arizona, Mexican border, almost up into Canada. Oh, I know. I can't imagine, Terry. I don't know what to do. You know, Terry, I want to write her because I already know this. I already picked up on it. Because she always writes me back, and she didn't write me back, even when she was been. It was all about money and oil, Paris. But let me just address this to Terry. Well, tell her I'm heartbroken for her. Be strong. Be strong. You know, be strong. I went through a similar thing with my dad, and I'd love to talk one on one on her. Not, yeah, life is short, and it, we had we had um, I was watching. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Paris video. One of you guys did a video the other day, and I don't mean any disrespect. I just watch a lot. I don't have no life up here. Thank you, Terry. I mean, I don't even. I couldn't even listen to her the other night. I stayed with her and I stayed on the video, but I knew she was just melting down. And she's such a brilliant, smart woman. Well, I go back out west. I lost 3 uncles. I lost 2 uncles in a knot when I was out there, and I couldn't get back for the funeral. I buried one of my favorite dogs, you know, and I've been through the loss and my dad's loss. I'd like to talk to. I don't want to talk to her on YouTube. I would like to tell her what happened to me on my dad. I think she would have find that really interesting. Maybe one day we can get on Hangout. We learn all this stuff. I've been at this for many years. I've been at this since the '80s, and I've always been a truth seeker and um, try to be try to expose the downtrodden, such as the Great Sioux Nation and all the other Native Americans. I'm not Native American. I don't pretend to be. But when you go and shove a pipeline up their ass, and they ask you not to, and then you got some communist in the White House that goes in executive orders a pipeline, and then 4 months later he's got a court telling him no, he shouldn't do that, and he couldn't even apologize for it. I mean, that whole Standing Rock thing was very upsetting. But getting back to Paris, I'm really glad and Kinley that I didn't have to go to war. But there's bullshit, and it's all about oil. That's who we're going down to Venezuela. I don't give 2 shits about Russia, China, Iran, Venezuela, Israel. I don't give 2 shits of anything but everything that's in the border of the United States. That includes Hawaii and Alaska. Take care of your own people in here. Get rid of this Federal Reserve. Get rid of the industrial military complex. Take responsibility. There's $21 trillion missing. And people don't understand how much money that is. All they can recognize in their brain is the 21. You can't explain to me what a trillion is. You can't explain to me in an example how many leaves fall on an acre of land. It probably ain't even 1 billion. Thank you. It's crazy. And all this is money on our birth certificate. Every one of you people that join me and every one of the people that you know out there, according to the Jimmy Dore show, go watch some Jimmy Dore. I love the guy. But he did a video about a year or so ago, and he said our birth certificate, every one of you people know, is $654,000 with debt. That's over a year ago. $654,000 a debt on our birth certificate. How the hell do we fall in to a free, richest, greatest country in the world, and we got a tag around our neck, which a lot of Christians don't want to talk about, That's Leviticus 25. That's a real good passage. I'm not a Bible believer. I don't believe in nothing. I believe in treating people the way I want to be treated and be kind and help those that helped out. And um, birth certificate, stocks, shares like cattle. Catherine, you're right on. How do we do this? You know, you ever see these cows out in a pasture with an air tag on them? They got the mark of the beast, don't they? According to what your book says, you got the mark of the beast. What do you think a birth certificate is? 5 years ago, I needed a job. I was down in New Mexico RVing, and I took a job. And I never took a drug test before. I mean, I was always independent. I didn't need none of that bullshit. But here in New Mexico, things were tough, and I needed to cooperate. Right. Kinley. How do we all know this and we can't settle this? You know, I listen to people get all humped up about Trump or Obama or Hillary Clinton, and they're going to make things better. I don't think there's one of you in here chat. It says, I guess, 5 people in here. I don't know if that includes myself. There's 5 people in here right now. I don't think one of you want a damn daylight savings time. How miserable is that? How miserable is that? How many people are upset? I lived down in Arizona for the fall and spring changeover clocks when the rest of the country was changing over, and there was none of that misery like up here. It is. It's more miserable. And you got people that are trying to realign their natural clock that God gave them to this bullshit man turning clocks back and forth. And if you haven't done it, I lived, and like I said, in Arizona for 2 clock changes. In the first one, you can say something is up here because it isn't the same way they are in Rhode Island. When I went to work, they're miserable, miserable. 2 weeks after, week and a half, 10 days after, people are just miserable. Short fuse. Yeah, I think we all are, Catherine. We've been pulled off, but word that I jump around, and I'm sorry, but about 4 or 5 days ago, I ran in a video and I knocking myself in the head. It might have been Never Lose Truth. Carol did a video. I think she was the one that did. I don't remember who did the video, but at the end of the video, they were talking about people like us that really learn the truth about our history and where we've been. There's 2 things. Yeah, Carol is wonderful. I use the C word to describe our country, and I hope she didn't get too pissed, but I haven't heard back from her in many months, and I don't mean to lose my my cool. I will use any language I want, and the sad part is when people pay attention to my foul language. You know, go listen to the Yvonne. That woman's brilliant, man. She'll tear anyone a new asshole. You want a president? There you go. You want a black woman president? There you go. And she wouldn't take no bullshit like Obama, like Bush, through the building and getting away with it, you know? And Trump knows that. Trump knows that. There's a video on YouTube, just type it in. Trump knows who did 9/11, and scroll all the way down and you'll see one that says ABC News. And they're standing outside of the day of 9/11. Yes, I'll get to this in a second, Catherine. But go watch what Donald Trump said. He said these were the strongest structural buildings. There's no way a plane could have done that much damage. They're built with massive steel columns, and he's absolutely right. And there was no way that we could buy into it. And then building 7. Building 7. That's all you got to say to one of these fluoride smiling fools. What happened to building 7? How'd you get a 13-foot hole in the Pentagon with a full aircraft? Come on. You know, there's I think even a passage in the Bible that says, he who forgets the past is doomed to the future. Now, one of you Bible thumpers that know it can correct me. It's not in the Bible. I don't know for sure. I think it is in the Bible. It says he who forgets the past is doomed to the future. So we got George Bush's running around, and the son of a bitch, oh, no problem. Well, enjoy your day. I hope your day goes wonderful. One more thing, Terry, before you leave. So we got that part that says, he who forgets the past is doomed to the future. We're all in here because we want to know the past. We want to reconcile our past. But then I watched another video that says, I'd rather be, if I have two choices in life, to be right about 9/11 or to be happy, I'm going to choose being happy. And just put my head in the sand and don't worry about the chemtrails, don't worry about this shit, and just keep going on. My attitude is, if you put offspring out there, I think you have a responsibility to give them a fair deal. Stream cut off. Yeah, just take care, Terry. Have a good day. I hope your power gets back on. Keep us informed. And please send that message out to Yvonne. I was going to write her a letter, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to her. I don't do very good at letters and then explaining myself. I think I do better orally. Sometime. So I don't, we can get on here and have coffee every morning. Thank you. And it isn't because I'm scared, and it isn't because I don't, because I just really, I don't know what to say, you know. I mean, I sent her my best wishes and all the strength, you know, she could muster. Some say prayer. So I don't know. You got a couple folks in here, Kinley, and I get confused who asked me to do more of these. Yeah, I guess we could get on. You know, I guess we could get on. You seem like wonderful people. You know, I've been watching you guys with your comments, either Mike Morales or Carol or you keep saying that. Oh no, that was oh my God, that's Kenley said the same thing. Everyone likes my voice. Well, I'm glad you do. I wish I could hear yours. I wish this was a two-way conversation. I really don't like sitting here. I don't like sitting here on camera, so I put this in. This is my basil. Can you say basil? Imagine the persecution. Imagine the people, whether you believe it or not, and you don't like this or not. Can you imagine for a green substance of ruining people's lives for over 50 years for this? No, I don't even know the guy. I don't even know the guy, Kenley. Brenda, coffee doesn't solve all your problems. It's sure does help prevent injury to others. Sometimes I'm very caffeine sensitive. 2 cups of coffee and I'd be spewing some language out here that you'd all be running. That's pretty funny though. But can you imagine for my basil here, you go and do what you did? How many years? How many people suffered because the Luciferians want to control things and they want to control. And it wouldn't be too bad if I could call the government and say, I got poison ivy on my land, come and eradicate it. Come and eradicate it. Buffering. Yeah, I don't really know. Let me know if it's up again. Give me a thumbs up or another one in comments if it comes back. It's not showing me anything here. It's not showing me anything at all here. I'll try to close here. Helps. It's really sad because we're running wide open, and it's more than likely some spook still buffering. All right. But it's amazing. Thank you, Brenda. It's amazing what when you talk about a free society, I mean free. I mean free. Thank you, Kimberly. So I think it's only going to get worse. I got a couple other folks you might be interested in. Adapt 2020, 2030, Adapt 2030, David and Christian at Ice Age Pharma, and Christian at Ice Age Pharma. Go check him out because this is real serious. We're in a grand solar minimum. That means the sunspot don't have no sunspots. What that means is it don't throw this stuff out that that energizes our ionosphere and protects us from cosmic and gamma and all kinds of radiation. And this is a low. And in a 400-year grand solar minimum cycle, which we are in, has caused yeah. I think of Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine. Have you ever looked at the lyrics of that? It is a funny song. Yes. Ice Age Pharma. Ice Age Pharma. His name's Christian. Go watch his video last night. And what he does is he actually gets the insurance reports from all over the world of lost crop damage in this grand solar minimum. So you can talk like Mike Morales talks about what they're doing to us. The man is. But we're in a grand solar minimum. This is historically the greatest famine, the worst weather on the planet is when we're in a grand solar minimum, when there's no sunspots on our sun. The other one, Kinley, is Adapt 2030. Adapt 2030. And he's really good. This global warming bullshit is just that. And great people that I sub to, like Jimmy Dore, very disappointing to hear Jimmy Dore still talking about global warming. We're in a grand solar minimum. It's yes, just went nose. Yeah. And I love Jimmy. He's great dude, man. Well, it's actually a grand solar minimum. It's not really a strange deal, but the strange deal, Catherine, comes when Mike Morales and Jim Lee starts telling you they're isospheric heating. They're blowing holes in the magnetosphere. They're blowing holes in the ionosphere. They're spraying us with chemicals. These are the three issues that I have. Because here, when I grow, to the west of me, trees, and I only have a small place. To the east of me is a hill, and the sun only clears that hill on June 20th, at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So I get a minimum, I get a maximum on the best day, maybe 6 or 7 hours on my plants. And this ain't all I grow. No, I grow a lot of food for myself. I grow a lot of food for myself. And uh they're horrific. Can his maps are incredible. But I want to answer that. You know, high carbon monoxide level. You have an explosion of poison ivy. I don't know if you knew that. Poison ivy loves high carbon monoxide. Like we end up killing ourselves or choking on carbon monoxide. Poison ivy will be through the roof. So you're manipulating the weather. You're spraying this shit. You're running mass amounts of mass amounts of RF radio frequencies. If you ever hear RF radio frequencies, blowing holes in the ionosphere, messing with the magnetosphere. These are all things to protect humans. That's what happened to Mars. Mars had life on it. Mars had water on it. But it got blown apart. Their protective shield got blown apart, and that was it. History. And, you know, you can say, well, Jesus is coming and we'll be saved and all that. I says, I don't, like I said, that's like private parts to me. Keep them in your pants. I'm talking what I see and what we can do and how we can, you know, that loads of moss everywhere. Catherine, where are you located? Because I just watched a video, a great guy. Oh, what's his name? I've been subbed to him. Anyways, I don't know what that is. Oh, Erie. Yeah. Well, in the summer, Ireland, drone girl, Catherine. If you're in Ireland, look up drone girl. Tell her Ralph sent you. Oh, she'd get a kick out of that. Drone girl does some beautiful, beautiful drone footage of Ireland. She sold more trips to Ireland than the country government has sold. I can guarantee it. She's a wonderful lady with her young son, Jack. Really, really great videos. Wow, I'm in Ireland, man. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So we get back to my property and trying to grow food here. So 10 o'clock, I got the sun. 2, 3 o'clock on the west side, the trees stop blocking out a lot of the sun. So I come out and I know I'm going to have a pristine day. There's no rain forecast. There's no bullshit forecast. My plants are happy and healthy. I got tobacco. I got squash. I got watermelon. I got corn. I got beans. I got all carrots and beets and potatoes, all doing good. And then my son's to go out around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon behind the trees. And here come the chemtrails. Well, I didn't know if you were here. I don't know what that means. Deleted my location. Raphael, you're European, aren't you? For sure. Yeah, I don't get called that too much in America. I've had friends and family. Message retracted. Message retracted. I don't know. I don't know what do you mean by that? Trolled to heck. I don't know what troll means. I hear people talk about it. I really don't know what it means. Oh, coming around. All right, Brenda. Well, before you come and go through all that, I come out It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I look at the sky. Sky looks good. I get a good advantage to the western sky. I don't see nothing. How do they change your words? Are you telling me when you type something, somebody can change your words? Oh. Oh, well, you're safe here. They just think I'm a radical. They don't pay much attention to me. I didn't know that. So I had trouble. I'm not going to mention her name, but she did tell me that my stuff was being messed with. It's sad. It's sad. I didn't know what troll meant. I didn't know what that means. How I don't see how, even if I wanted to change your words, how I could change your words. I can't click on it and add to it or delete it. That's really disgusting. I love this stuff, man. I don't love, but it really amazing. I couldn't imagine being 16 years old and getting on YouTube, learn to be an F1 driver, learn how to repair an automobile, learn how to bake some of the greatest foods in the world. This is such a wonderful platform, including all the truthers out there. And I just admire the heck out of it. I did many years, 25 plus years, and I still do, listening to ham radio and shortwave radio. Catherine, oh, that's too bad. Catherine, I don't know if you guys have shortwave radios. I know Europeans are known to listen to a lot of shortwave radio. Um, it's kind of sad because when Mike really started getting heavy hitting, he told me to. Well, they told me to call in, and I did. I went and called in, and I said to Mike, I says, now if you give me a minute, I'll go over to my ham radio. We'll tune it in, and I'll show you where all the ionospheric heaters are. And if anyone's got a receiver, they can get the frequencies. Boy, they really. Um, you can write me at Desert Raider, DEZERTRAIDER. I've been hacked. I've been hacked. I've been on the dating site for about 4 years up here, and I've been hacked on that for like 3 times. I get a letter saying you said something bad to women. I don't talk dirty. I don't talk dirty. I don't talk bad. Um, and yeah, I got thrown off like 3 times. That's just I don't want to get on a dating site and start telling a woman that I'm the size of the Titanic to get her interested in me. I don't need to do that. And I won't do that. Sell myself for my shit works. I don't need no blue pill. What the frig is wrong with these people? And this is society. If you're not telling them, oh, I'm the size of Titanic and I can go for 4 days nonstop and I don't need ever-ready batteries, I'd probably have some dates here. But they'd be just that. They'd be shallow trash, usually. I'm not into that shit. There's more disease out there. I'm not into one-night stands, that's for sure. I'd like to just meet people up here. This has been a horrible, horrible place. Horrible. I've been in a lot of places. I lived in a tent all summer long out west, high up in the Rocky Mountains, all summer long for like 4 or 5 years. I met people from every walks of life, every religion. I took care of campgrounds. I had people in them campgrounds from China to frigging Europe. I had people from all over the world. and I get along with everybody. I come up here, I don't have much going for me up here, and I don't want to start going to that on here. But it's just been quite a lonely place, and we try, I'm not a bar, and I don't go to church, and I won't go to church, and I won't go to bars. In Rhode Island, I lived down there. There was some karaoke places. I used to like doing karaoke, but up here, it's all country western stuff. Photo of the sky and things. I have many of my videos have magically disappeared. Are you kidding me? On YouTube, Kinley? On YouTube, I haven't lost nothing. I did. I took down. I took down a video because I got so frustrated. I had a video of me in that last snowstorm we had, snow blowing, and I can't tell you how many people come in there. I think I had 47 people in here, and I wasn't watching it. I was out there snow blowing. I just put the camera on, and it was. I had some big hits on that. People really liked it. But when I came in, I started going off, and I wanted to separate the two. And I went in and I tried my best to try to edit and make two videos. How do you block trolls? Polly, this is all about you, girl. This is all about you. So what I did, Buddy's sleeping now. Go to the beginning of the video, Polly. My favorite shot in your whole video, by the way, was your feet in the sand. Oh man, how I yearn for that. I got 6 inches of ice out here. They deleted my video I had on private for years. Speaks volumes. Block a channel. How do you do that? Oh boy. I don't know none of this stuff, man. This is all hoopla. It's very hard to meet folks these days. It can be lonely. There are a lot of lonely people in this country. A lot of lonely people. It's epidemic. Polly, I want to fill in Polly one thing. So I started out. I took your video in another a window, and Buddy was sleeping, and I played the video, and he went nuts, went crazy. But some of the people were saying that it was buffering. So I did it again. And then you can hear the veracity of my bud. But then I blew the harmonica a little bit, and you could hear him singing with the harmonica. So there was definitely two things. There's something in that Moby music. And I told John Florence at KRCL when it first happened, Polly, I'm over here on YouTube, and I got the stereo going on KRCL out of Salt Lake City. And all of a sudden, he's going nuts, man, going nuts. And I don't know what it is. Well, this happens again, and then I find out, and I call John Florence, who does the morning show there, and John was suspicious that there's subliminal messages in that song, and Buddy he only goes off. He only goes off when the chorus comes. Good. I did that. I did this whole thing for you. I was only going to be here for 2 minutes, and it really went well. All right, Kinley, I post to YouTube. I had posted on Facebook in a short period of time because I don't know had Facebook for my job. Can you imagine that? I'm too old. I'm too freaking old, man. You wonder why I smoke 40 of my hand rolled cigarettes, no filters a day. I'm too old for this shit. I'm gonna come to your place, wash dishes. I got to do a background check. I got to do a credit check. I got to required to have Facebook. Fudge that, mother. Fudge that. That's too communist alive and well in our country. And the pigs that the owners that uh, the pigs that would run their business like that in a new world order. I won't go back to that restaurant. You know, I won't go back to it. They're done. They ain't got no one in there I talk to anyways. There's some young chick there. She really likes me. I don't know how old she is, 25, 30 years old. And she really sweet to me. But you know how young girls are. They're always sweet to old men. They think they're going to die and collapse any minute, and then they can pull their wallet out their back pocket. All right. Well, I don't know. I joined Facebook for one reason only, is that's a great Sioux Nation. Uh, well, Catherine, I'm really on edge about that because he did put it together, and YouTube put it together, and it's a shame. It's just a real shame. I think we got to respect. I don't know. You volunteer to come into Facebook like I did, and I did it for. I only did it to get in contact with people up at the Sioux Reservation during Standing Rock. I met a lot of people there, man. I met a lot of people that I could come out and visit for sure. Um, that might be a way. I mean, but look at what McDonald's does to people. Look at the ill health McDonald's. Look what Coca-Cola does to people. Look at um Hey Kinley, I woke up one morning after fuming. They were shooting the Tiger Swan mercenaries. Now listen to what I'm saying. Tiger Swan mercenaries, not county sheriff. Tiger Swan mercenaries, snipers with shotgun, were freezing the rubber bullets, and people were peacefully protesting on the other side, and they were shooting people's fingers off, blowing their hands apart, ruining them, blowing their eyes out, throwing hand grenades. Horrible. And I woke up and they asked me to do something to continue my Facebook, and I told them to go shove it. But again, I don't think people should be prosecuted like there were 350 warrants, I think, sent out of Facebook at Standing Rock alone from people that didn't like what was being said. That's ridiculous. I think it's insane. Yep. Go look that up. Number up. Chase Ionize might, if you can contact Chase Ionize, he might be able to help you with that. A younger generation of folks that don't know how to share the information gotten through it. Yeah, well, I understand. I understand exactly what you're talking about, Brenda. It's just another deal. And I'm not belittling you for being on there, but they've been so ruthless selling private information to people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this all goes. You know, I sit here on YouTube and I watch all these videos, and I got my favorite people, and I thumbs up everybody. You really got to do a nasty video. They are. But Kinley, this is so wonderful, man. I think this is wonderful, man. I think this is mind blowing. To think, go back when, at least when I was 16, 17, and be able to do this. This is, oh my, man. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another. What a great tune, and what a great way to do that, Yeah, yeah. Thank you for stopping in, Palomir, and everyone else. And I know your time is cool. And yeah, I'm just glad you stopped in. I'm glad you got to know, rewind it and see how it came out, because I don't know how it came out. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Get out to that beach again, man, because you come up here with your bare feet, you're just gonna you'll be on 5 inches of solid ice. I wish I could bring the camera out there and show you guys how much ice is on my property from the weather agents. Been a tough year. Yes. Goodbye, Polly. So long till next time, and thank you for your work. Brenda, this is what I was getting at. So I get on here and I thumbs up people. They know exactly who I thumbs up. I run, say, Pandora. I play music on here. I choose music as channels, and they know what my music genre is. If I watch porn, what's that thing called? Pornhub or something. They know exactly what I kind of porn I like. If I had a phone where I can order McDonald's meals, they would know exactly what I had. I go in and use a credit card. The credit card shows you what kind of food I bought, or whatever I bought. And then I took this job down in New Mexico. I don't think I finished that story. I got down in New Mexico. I really wanted to spend some time here. I needed a job. It's all I needed is a small job, and I applied for this monster oil company conglomerate down there. And I never took a drug test before. Now, I had smoked a reefus before this, yesterday, the night before, and I went in there and I didn't know they were going to give me a drug test. Well, this woman made me rub my inside gums for 5 minutes and actually set a timer. And this thing felt like it was like about 120 grit sandpaper. It was looked like a Q-tip. And I told somebody that. And you know what they told me? They took my DNA. So I went to work for these scumbags, because we got a scumbag society that allows these scumbags to do personal what amendment is that? Eighth or something? Eighth Amendment, self-incrimination, you know, for self-incrimination. Who the fuck are they to get the privilege to go draw blood or go draw saliva or do anything to work at a place? This is how bizarre our freest, richest country in the world. You're doing the same things the goddamn Soviets did 40 years ago. And your wonderful waving the flag bullshit. I love my country. I don't love this mess we're in. Ralph, on the way, you would not be here right now. However, I prefer to meet in because G is brought together. Amazing things can happen. Kinley, what about powwows? You think the word powwow is just a joke? Thank you. Yeah, it was a DNA swabbed me for $7 an hour in a convenience store in the middle of Aztec to Durango. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to put up with drunks coming in there unarmed. I was unarmed. They were armed. They come in there and they want to buy more alcohol. And I'm putting up with this shit for $6.75 an hour. Nothing else. No bennies, no nothing. $6.75 a stinking hour. Then at 3 o'clock, we get the crackheads coming in to try to rob us repetitively. That's county, dude. That's county sheriff. They didn't have no police department there. County take 2 hours to get there sometimes, depending on where they were. I got a great desk. I was blessed with a great dentist up here. Powwow. Powwow. Church. Some call it church. Stream is going again. church, you know. Tell me when it comes back. Okay, but it's back. You know, that's the thing about religion, organized. Oh, that's all right. All right. You know, we go to church. You know, I think it was. I don't remember the history. I'm having a brain fart. But the Sioux, the Crow, never came together before, and George Custer's going up there. I think what's it called, the 7th or 10th? He was in commanded, and all he needed was to kill these Indians off, and he would have been president of the United States. And um, he had a powwow, and they had their vision, the way they do it. And Custer showed up at the greasy grass and got his ass handed to him. I did piss on Custer's grave back then. It was a phallic symbol with a bunch of dead other people around. Great place if you can get there. I don't just when I don't quite know what that means. It is great out there, you know. Yeah, I went there one morning. Ralph had two radicals. How's that happening? Oh, let the little children play. But just as long as you can hear me and I can read what you're saying, I'm good. Posting pictures, videos, and speaking free will, censorship. You shouldn't be able. I want to call him a coward Jew. I'll call him a coward Jew. You know, and start talking people. There's your U.S. Senate just went in there. Do you know if I made widgets here and Israel called me up and says I want to buy 10,000 widgets, I'd tell them go fuck yourself, and that's what I would tell them. You know, I guess under the law you can get screwed now. The Senate took their time to protect Israel, who's dropping Willie Pete rounds on the Palestinian. Do you know, for you Christians, Jesus Christ, the way I understand it, loved the Palestinians. They were like brothers. They got along very well. He really liked them, the way I understand it. And then came the Zionists out of Russia, the communists, and then all that trashed up religion shit. Man, I'm just not into any of it. But I'm talking about religion where what's his name? Red Cloud, Crazy Horse. They had their powwow, and they had a vision, and their vision was how to repel Custer's murdering act. You know, and boy, if you look at some of the murdering that went on, especially up here, murdering, it's I stand up for the Palestinians. Roger Waters stands up for Palestinians. Look, some folks believe these are the most greatest people in the world according to their book, the Israelites. My attitude towards that is if you think you're so gosh darn good and so righteous in your ways, then you should have been able to come here with your Bible and have a positive mechanism with the people who ran this land and not murder them. And it's the same with the Palestinians. There's no reason why these so-called chosen ones, which is all a pile of shit, go and do this act to them. They should have the God's blessing if there was a God, to go in there and shake hands with these people, sit down and smoke a reefer, have a cup of coffee, have a beer, and resolve their issues peacefully. And they can't. And no religion can be peacefully. The whole thing is a devil, if you believe in devil. Right. You know, I just find it amazing. How can you talk so proudly of yourself? I mean, I'm not, you don't need to degrade yourself. Native powwow, yeah. Nations, I'm talking about that. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They got together. You know, go look at Sand Creek. Go look at the Sand Creek massacre. Look at the struggle the Ute go through and still are. Look at the Navajos. Look at the Hopis. Look at the massacre you've done to these people. They don't want the railroad through their treated land. Get your goddamn railroad the fuck out of the goddamn treaty land. They don't want the goddamn power lines going through their treaty land. Get your goddamn power lines through your treaty land. And people don't have any clue what the fuck I'm talking about. People have no clue unless you've been down to those reservations and at least drove through them. You never seen poverty like that since you've been to Africa. And this is this is the strongest, richest country in the world doing that. I truly believe what goes around comes around. I truly believe that. What goes around and comes around. And I think us letting Standard Rock go full speed ahead like it did, where you're bringing in missiles on unarmed people and shooting people in the cold with water cannons, I think that just comes around. Jane Tandy dropped F-bomb, and I loved it. Well, I'm trying to be clean here, Kinley. I got a foul mouth. I got a real foul mouth. And N, C, and J words are not owned by anyone. You understand? I go off sometimes. Well, I mean, this is, I think, what we're living. I love Jane. Jane's great. Jane don't talk to me no more. I don't know what happened. Maybe, like you said, Catherine, maybe I was getting jammed by all these people. I used to get a letter almost every day, a little note from her, and I'd send her a little note and this and that. And, she did a video last night, and the video was about how bright the clouds are. Well, sometimes when somebody's got a lot of experience, it's tough. And I'm not saying Jane don't have the experience, but I live in a pretty quiet place as far as light pollution. But if you came here last night, you'd be like, holy heck, what the hell is that? And what we have is dropping chemtrails or low clouds over Augusta and just lighten up the sky. Well, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I really haven't F-bombed or any of that too much. But, she was so upset about this and like, stop drinking fluoride, Jane. And I don't mean that just degrading. Just stop doing anyone can tell you that when low clouds at 3,000 feet come over a city, you got these assholes at Burger King, you got these assholes at McDonald's, you got these assholes at the car lots, and they got to run streaming amount of light pollution, and it reflects it off the clouds. And unless you can show me different than that, I'm not believing that. But when Jane does a video and she's showing the chemtrails that she's got to live through and out in California, break my heart, man. Break my heart that somebody come to me and say, Ralph, I'm going to take you out west. Go anywhere you want to go. Well, that's who I am. I don't try to be rude, although If I had too much coffee, LOL, F bombs and all kinds of shit start spewing out, and hate this one and hate that one and all that. But I think rightly so. I think, a jury of my peers would find me to be, yeah. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you call Donnie Rumsfeld an N word? Why not a J N word, C word? Look what that man had done. Look at Alan Specter, another N word. Look what that motherfucker did. Alan Specter was a diffuser, a CIA George Bush offshoot. And that mofo from Pennsylvania diffused JFK investigation and diffused 9/11 investigation. He should have been dug up and hung. I think she is growing wary. She is like all of us. Do you ever hear Carol Kennelly? Do you ever hear Carol, man? God damn, I like fucking Carol. Call me up and shoot the shit with me. Don't fucking hang yourself, like, or something. Holy shit, man. Every single day, it's a new shot show, on the world stage, or Carol, you know. No, not in Ireland. You folks got to have better manners than swearing on the drive. If you come drive here in New York or Boston, Catherine, the people will show you you're a number one driver if you get my drift. It's a battlefield, man. It's a battlefield, and they're going to go into Boston, New York, Los Angeles, up there in the Chicago, that shithole mess up there down in Salt Lake City, and they're going to turn 5G on when people are trying to get home from their miserable paying job, their slave wage job. We're going to have people killing each other. Oh, Kennelly, never lose truth. Never lose truth. Carol's wonderful woman, so smart. The real Yvonne, the real Yvonne. Very, very smart. Those are two other smart people. And I don't know. Yes, I worry about Carol too. Excuse me. Yeah, it's so sad. It's like, Carol, get off this stupid thing. Get on here with. I'm not trying to get in your pants. I'm here to try to look up. I want to pass this on. Mental report. The Jimmy Dore, Mike Morales. These are some good. I really like them, but I'm trying. Computer don't load all this stuff. Aggravated. And I hope it's still streaming on the other side, because I opened up a new window and I'm over here. This Erin Elizabeth helped. Just too much information. She's a woman that's going to get me to unsubscribe. I just can't take that much video, and I can't be bombarded with it. And Ice Age Farmer, we talked that one. Dabu77. When I want to drop out, Wonder Hussy. Wonder Hussy Adventure. Wonder Hussy Adventure. Real great. She's real great. Explore with us. They're a father and daughter team that just rip it up. They do a real, real good job in my eyes. They do a job. Electric Boom. Oh my God. Maybe some of you women wouldn't like Electric Boom. It's funny as hell. Lost you. Hey, old soul. Old soul Maggie. Hello, chat. Hello, Maggie, and welcome. I'll call you Maggie. Yeah, it's something like us old souls all getting around. All right, I shut this other window. It may work. Again, I have no companions and no friends up here, especially some of the young folks. Come over here and help me learn, because the computer's got enough kahunas Is it buffering? Is it still buffering? Because I need to take a pee break. I like to have a cigarette. You want to end it? Thumbs up who wants to end it, or one in the comment. You want to end it? Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, it says one watching here. Oh, soul. Oh, can we? I'm buffering too. Good now. Oh, old soul. Where you from, old soul? Says one's watching. So who is it? Catherine or old soul? Weird, man. Jamming. Jamming. That's what they're doing. They must be in here jamming, sucking the energy right out of my laptop. And that's why it's buffering. New York. Nice to meet you. Catherine is in Ireland. I'm in Maine. When I think is you in Illinois? They spray on us. I used to have a guy from Ireland. I couldn't take it no more. He was always running around outside, Catherine, with his camera, and he'd do like a 5-minute videos. You dirty son of a bitches, you dirty son of a bitches, you dirty son of a bitches, over and over, and just showing the mess that Ireland was going through. I forgot his name. I liked the guy and I subbed to him, but I couldn't take no more of it. Brenda, Northern Illinois, southwest of Chicago. Still one watching. Well, that's good. Maybe they want my analytics. Hey, that's better analytics than Mike Morales. One is watching and 6 thumbs up. I don't know if you folks been to Mike Morales. That is really pathetic, you know. Mike Morales hits 1,000 people. Yeah, I think we'll shut it down. I just want to cover this real quick. You know, I don't know how people can do this to a channel. Yeah, you don't have money to donate. I understand that. Oh yeah, there's more watching. Of course there's more watching. You know, it's just some scumbag Jew. Anyways, Mike got 800, 1,000 people in there, right? And you look at the thumbs up. You look at the thumbs up. I know Kinley. I know you done it. I know Polly's done it. I know I've done it. I know Bamboo's done it. And every few minutes we say, please thumbs up Mike. Please thumbs up Mike. We very have a tough time. Yeah, yeah. Well, with that, they just shut us down to 0. So you guys aren't here. I can't see you guys. Yeah, I can. According to Israel, we got 0 watching YouTube. So that's pretty good. Look at my analytics, Catherine. Look, I was getting at that with Mike Morales. You know, he's got 800, 1,000 people watching, and now we can scrape up 250, 300 thumbs up. I don't know how people can do that shit, man. I really can't. Oh, you say you do, Brenda. Yep. You know, and everyone does in there, and we can't get the watches to thumbs up. Who's in the house? Me. Post A1. Oh, I see what you're doing. Hey, how's that for analytics? 2 people are watching and 7 thumbs up. Golly, we got to get that magic over to Mike Morales. I'm going to say have a good day, guys. Mike Morales does have thousands watching, but why is it so hard for these son of a bitches that are watching his stuff to give him a thumbs up? Is it really that difficult? It's so heartbreaking to think that we're all in this together and you can't even thumbs him up to try to keep the Jews off his ass, the YouTubers, you know, that want to come in and disrupt things, you know. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I'm very thankful. I'll try to do it tomorrow. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. I'll get into it, you know. I just don't want to get into it where I'm offending people and getting all upset. It's been a good talk. I'd love to learn if any of you ever want to contact me, just go into one of my videos, write me, and I'll send you my look in the other niches. And I noticed that people posting videos about the truth are getting way better donations than stupid crime, beauty, and drama channels. Yeah, isn't that something? Oh, Soul, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Uh, I go watch Emmy, Emmy from Japan. Emmy from Japan. She's a sweetheart. Great, great, great fun. If you're bored, fuck TV, fuck TV, fuck TV. There's a lot of good people out here. And Emmy gets very, very little in the way of donation, but she doesn't go live either. Uh, I'm going to say goodbye for now, or so long, I should say. I hope you all have a very good day. This has been a delight. I never even expected this. This is fantastic. And maybe tomorrow I'll have coffee and with you guys, and we'll do this all over again. Take very, very good care of yourselves. Please take care of yourselves. Try to eat the healthiest food you can. Try to stay warm. Try to prepare for a lights out. And I don't know what else. Just love one another. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another. You know, that's what it's all about. We don't have music like that anymore, and I miss it dearly.